I am here with my dear friend Buzz the Bee from Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. You are going to want to keep a close eye on the weather today, am I right? And let me tell you, it's time now for your local weather report, brought to you by Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Let's buzz on over to the Main Street Media TV Weather Center.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather on Main Street.
Well, good Thursday morning. Taylor Platt here from the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. Here's a look at your latest forecast across the entirety of central Tennessee. A few showers are possible throughout the day on Thursday. I don't think anything is going to be overly heavy. Temperature-wise, getting back up into the middle 70s across the area. Thursday evening, mostly clear at that point. Temperatures will be dropping back down into the 60s and 50s. And by the time we wake up on your Friday morning, maybe an outside chance at a shower, but I think most places are dry for your Thursday. Here's your latest 7-day forecast. We are watching Easter. I think for the majority of the area we are dry. Our main focus will be late Sunday into early Monday. So again, your Easter services on Sunday, I think you're pretty good to go. Showers and storms definitely get back into the forecast though Monday and Tuesday.
Thank you for that update. Tune in each day on Mornings on Main Street for an up-to-date weather report brought to you by Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. All of their contact information is below. Have a great day.
Good morning, Stefanie.
Good morning. Hi, kids. A hot tea, please.
Welcome to Mornings on Main Street. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. Thanks for joining us. Coming up later this month, it is the long-running fundraising breakfast for the Catholic Charities, Diocese of Nashville. It is the 2025 Festival of Hope fundraising breakfast that will offer urban-inspired food, live music, powerful stories of transformation, along with Vista prizes. This morning, we are going to learn how your donations help thousands through Catholic Charities. Some of those thousands could be your neighbor. We'll also learn that what we have in common is much greater than our differences. But first this morning, let's get a check of our headlines. Full-time public school teachers in Cheatham County will receive their one-time teacher bonus of $2,000. The Cheatham County School Board unanimously approved this at its recent meeting. Now, this bonus is a result of the recently passed Tennessee Education Freedom Act. Now, both the Cheatham County Commission and School Board issued multiple resolutions in opposition to the bill, citing fears that it would take much needed money away from public schools and because homeschools and private schools are not held to the same standards as public ones. A strategic $51,000 investment in artificial intelligence training and integration was announced at Austin Peay State University on Wednesday. This investment is an effort to support comprehensive AI education programs for students, faculty, and staff as part of the university's commitment to preparing graduates for an AI-driven workforce. The initiative includes professional development courses, instructor training, licensing for specialized learning, and an AI symposium in late 2025. The university will use a train-the-trainer model to maximize campus impact. Fairground Speedway is set to launch the 121st season of racing this weekend. This comes after postponing because of severe weather that we experienced. Wait no more, because Friday, the U.S. Legends Spring Nationals will compete, followed by the local divisions on Saturday. The event will feature racing for the U.S. Legends, Pro Late Models, and Street Stocks. You can read through these stories and other local stories by visiting our website, mainstreetmediatn.com.
So Busy Bee is a very close-knit family. We fight just like every family does. We have arguments, but we always come out with a solution to the problems. We don't just fight about what we want, we fight about what customers need. We want to make sure that every customer we go to is more than satisfied. And that doesn't just start whenever we show up at their door. That starts when we show up every day at work. We want to make sure that we are serving our customers to the best of our ability.
Step into the Lionel retail store at Opry Mills, Nashville, and you'll be captivated by all the magic of the 123-year history of Lionel trains. Whether you're already a train enthusiast or just getting started, Lionel will energize your love for trains. NASCAR fan? Come check out your local Lionel station to learn all there is to know about model trains and die-cast NASCAR collectibles. Visit nashville.lionel.com or call 615-455-9399.
You're seeing the signs too, right?
What signs?
Welcome back. Catholic Charities, Diocese of Nashville is gearing up for its 2025 Festival of Hope fundraising breakfast. Money raised will go to serve thousands in our area. Judy Orr, the executive director of Catholic Charities, says that the assistance is done through a holistic program known as the 3 E's: emergency assistance, emotional support, and employment services. Through the 8 locations for Catholic Charities, an estimated 26,000 people are helped annually.
That's a pretty high number. Many nonprofits that you might speak to are helping several thousand perhaps, but because of the fact that we are aligned with the 38 counties in Middle Tennessee, that's the Diocese of Nashville, that gives us, a much broader reach. And we're also connected in with the whole Catholic parish network system. So there's Catholic churches in most of the 38 counties of Middle Tennessee.
For those who may not be aware, talk to us about the changing in times, because again, we're seeing just a lot of things happening right now when it comes to immigrants coming in. And what are you seeing? How does that change?
Yeah, so we are one of many across the country who are federal contractors, and so we work with legal immigrants, and this refugee program has been in place since 1980. It was created from congressional action, and there are very strict rules about it. In fact, it's one of the many reimbursement grants. So what we see happening is the president made an executive order to pause new admissions. In the state of Tennessee, there might be 2,000 in a busy year, and that's not just my agency, but across the whole state, 2,000 people coming in. So it's very small numbers compared to what most people perceive. But in the case of where we are now, new admissions are paused, and we are still working through cases that we took ahead of Inauguration Day. Those people have anywhere from 6 to 12 months to get settled, and so the obligation we have as a contractor is to get them on their feet, paying their own bills by the time they are here. Usually it's about 8 months.
I have a question to follow up as far as like success stories, but with this being paused, for those who are coming in who would like to be legal immigrants in the United States, how challenging is it for them to not be able to go through the process that they're dreaming of?
Oh, it's extremely challenging. This is a very, very comprehensive vetting process that a person in a foreign country has to go through. They have to apply for refugee status, and this can take multiple years. And in some cases, they literally are living in refugee camps, awaiting a decision about their case. The vetting is so intensive that if there is any question that this person should not come to the United States, they won't be admitted. And so there are many who, as you pointed out, were ready to come, and when they made the pause, that they couldn't come. So yes, it's often the case that people are being reunited with family members that are already here. So this is a really heartbreaking situation for those families. And of course, don't forget that many of the people who were granted refugee status are folks who did help the United States government, like in the case of Afghanistan several years ago.
Talk to us about some of those success stories and what you've seen and what you've heard.
Well, the truth is this program has an amazing track record. Virtually everyone is able to become self-sufficient by the end of 12 months. And so we have very intensive staff case management where we help people to get employment and just make sure that all of the connections they need to make in the community get made so that they can become successful. And in many cases, in most cases, people who are arriving from a foreign country, we don't select who comes and we don't make the decisions. We're just a contractor that accepts whoever is decided by the federal government. But it's typically the case that if you are, let's say, from Afghanistan, you would come to a community where there's already a community of people from Afghanistan, and so it builds that natural support system that people need to be successful. So we have very, very few people who are not able to get on their own feet very quickly. And what we find in our work here, and many of our staff are not Catholic, and of course the people we serve are not Catholic necessarily, is that we really, I say, we sort of leave our faith tradition at the door and we just, in solidarity, work to help our neighbors. So I think that might be one thing that people don't know. The other thing is I mentioned before, the volume. So the number of people coming here from foreign countries is not nearly as great as public perception. So people have the notion that Catholic Charities is helping tens of thousands of foreign-born people come here, and that's just simply not the case. We don't have the means to do that. We are typically funded, as I say, by the federal government, and so we follow those guidelines that they give us. We really have no ability to help people who are not coming through the legal process. We don't have the money to do that. We just do not have the means to do that. So, and when I say that we helped 26,000 people in Middle Tennessee, in this past year, only about 1,000 of those were the foreign-born people we're talking about.
Okay. And the others were?
Native-born United States citizens.
Okay. But you need the funding to be able to help those that you're helping.
Very much. We need, really, all of the people we help, no matter what the program is, are all in the same situation. They're trying to take care of themselves and their families. And they need food, and they need employment, and they need barriers removed like transportation and childcare. And so it's very important for us to try to raise money in addition to what the federal government provides for these programs when we contract with them. Because there's often exceptions, gaps in funding where people need additional assistance, and maybe it is transportation. So when we receive donations from the general public, usually what we do is we actually expand the amount of food that we provide to people, because that's always needed, and all of us know how much food is costing nowadays. So if you can give food or even vouchers for the grocery store, that enables them to spend their money, let's say, on a car repair, because we don't really have the funding so much for that. But it's really, sometimes it's some other unexpected expense, could be medical. So if we can help them pay a utility bill, they can pay their medical bill. So there's any number of things that, all of us encounter.
How can we, for those of us with the heart to maybe give a little bit or to give time, is that possible?
So we have two buttons on our website. One is for volunteers and one is for donations. And we would welcome people to come, people of goodwill to come and help us serve our neighbors. We would very much welcome financial support. Like many nonprofits, we have an annual fundraiser, and that fundraiser is coming up in just a few weeks, the Festival of Hope. And we do that as a breakfast event and is out here at the Catholic Pastoral Center, which is right across from Gaylord Opryland. It might seem far to some people, but it is very easy to get here, and we have ample parking. But we will have a lot of wonderful surprises. It's a very upbeat event, and you can learn more about that on our website.
That is great. What is the donation amount you would like to reach, or that you're hoping to reach?
What we're trying to raise this year is $100,000 from our attendees.
Okay. But you said there's sponsorships.
Right. Sponsorships are also available, and you can find out more about those on our website as well, and they're modestly priced. But this is critical funding for us to help our families in need. So many people assume that we are fully funded by the Catholic Church, but in fact, the Church provides a generous base funding for us, but it's very important that we raise this additional funding each year in order to help all of the neighbors in need who seek our help.
Judy, thank you so much for sharing this with us. She says it really is people paying it forward, because people who have been helped are now helping out and giving their time. Judy's family has its own immigration story. In fact, 3 generations ago, they came over from Eastern Europe. Now, if you would like to be a part of the Festival of Hope and would like to attend, well, it's happening on Tuesday, April 29th. You're asked to register at cctfest.org. cctenn.org. Again, register at the website so they can get a number of those who are planning to come out. That, once again, is cctenn.org. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Hi, I'm Dr. Vilay Saisuka, CEO and founder of Premier Foot and Ankle Centers of Tennessee here in Murfreesboro. We offer foot and ankle care from ingrown toenails to diabetic foot wounds. We also fix ankle fractures and things like that.
Call us today to schedule an appointment. We look forward to seeing you.
Because here at Premier Foot and Ankle, we believe that
the journey begins with happy feet.
So, you want to be a part of the Busy Bee team, huh? Well, how do you see yourself fitting into the organization? Oh, I get it. You want to be a weather bee.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.
All right, we're back with another What's New at the Zoo, and we like to call this session Therapy with Devin. It's another episode where we get to introduce her to another snake, because we know
Yet another snake.
Devin loves snakes, so this is therapy for her. This constant exposure is kind of bringing her closer to the wonder that is snakes.
You're pretty. I still don't want you as a pet.
That's fair.
Or a belt. I don't. I mean, you know.
We're here with Lindsay.
Lindsay is and she's good with Loki. This is Loki, you guys. Meet Loki. Loki is a happy camper right now because the black has been absorbing this warmth of the sun, and Loki thinks, "Oh, this is great." Loki's at a spa right now.
Yeah, he's being super active because he's very warm. Feeling very nice.
Tell us about this snake. What kind of snake is it?
So Loki is a ball python.
Okay.
He's not doing what he's supposed to be doing right now, turning into a ball, which is good. They do that when they feel scared or threatened. They kind of do it very similar to an armadillo, where they curl up so they could cover their head and their vital organs.
Wow. And that's why they're called ball pythons.
And that's why they're called ball pythons.
I didn't know they did that.
Wow, you learn something new every day.
Another interesting thing about these guys is that they're also nicknamed the royal python because they were actually worn as living jewelry by chieftains in Africa.
Wow.
They are notorious for, rolling up in the ball and wrapping around people's wrists for bracelets and necks for necklaces. So, and they would be alive, and that would be a sign of kind of wealth and power.
Gotcha.
And crazy. And that's just, whoa.
So what, in their native habitat, where do they live? In trees? Do they live on the ground? Tell me a little bit about their habitat.
They are living mostly on the ground. Males and females are different sizes. Loki is a male, so he's a little bit smaller. He could get 4 to... Loki, what are we doing? He could get 3
He said,
to
"There's
4
an armpit.
feet,
I'm going in there."
While females can get a little bit bigger, almost up to 6 feet.
Okay.
So males can be found a little semi-arboreal, so they can be found up in trees.
If you would like to watch this show and others, be sure to download our mobile app, Main Street Media TV Mobile. You can also find our programs on streaming services that include Apple, Amazon, and Roku, as well as on YouTube, social media, and MainStreetMediaTV.com.